Whenever life gets you down, keeps you wearing a frown, and the gravy train has left you behind. And when you're all out of hope, down at the end of your rope, and nobody's there to throw you a line. If you ever get so low that you don't know which way to go, come on and take a walk in my shoes. Never worry about a thing, got the world on a string, 'cause I've got the cure for all of my blues. I take a look at my enormous penis, and my troubles start a melting away. I take a look at my enormous penis, and the happy times are coming to stay. I gotta sing and I dance when I glance in my pants, and the feeling's like a sunshiny day. I take a look at my enormous penis, and everything is going my way.
It's time for the best pubcast around. Grab a cold one, sit back, and enjoy the show. This is Corner Pub Sports.
This is Lauren Hart from the Philadelphia Flyers, and you're listening to Corner Pub Sports.
Corner Pub Sports.
We'll do it live!
Fuck me, my shit.
Yo, what is going on, everybody?
What's
Corner
up?
Pub Sports coming at you live here on a Friday night.
A somber
sound?
Friday.
Yeah, do we sound a little down? Do we sound a little down?
How can you not like this when you got the barbershop quartet singing about an enormous penis?
That was a quartet. That's exactly what it was.
Yes.
It might have been us trying to think of something to be happy about, right? Yeah, we're
Well, I'm still sad then.
yeah. So obviously the Eagles lost the Super Bowl, and we're here to try to comb through what happened and try to possibly look ahead and see what's coming forward and see what the future holds and see if we have a chance to get back there again, because
it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy, and
Not easy.
There's a lot to get into with the game itself, and we'll definitely do that tonight. And for everyone who's listening live or watching live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, we appreciate it. Of course, we have the sound or the text board going, so be part of the show, be part of the conversation. That's open to everybody.
Yeah, I can't comment. It's weird.
Oh, you can't? No?
Yeah. Gary, can you comment?
I haven't even tried.
But of course, if you're downloading the show on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, what's the other one, Gary?
Satchel.
All that stuff.
I could do private chat, but I can't do the comments on Facebook.
I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, I used to be able to do that.
But yeah, it's this sucks. It's been a week, and it's not any easier to accept.
Nope.
Yeah, look at my name. Look at my name title.
Yeah, what's that saying there, Gary? I can't quite make it out.
Jonathan Gannon is a jip bag.
Man, that's pretty rough, isn't it?
Well, it's not a lie.
What a fucking jip bag.
Well, it's kind of true, I think, honestly, because
It's true.
Hello.
I think we should just start there.
Right
I think
now.
the fact that he left us down, he let us down
Give me
immensely.
5 minutes, guys.
He let us down immensely in the Super Bowl, man. That was absolutely horrific what he did, or what he didn't do during that Super Bowl. The fact that he never adjusted, he can never adjust to what Kansas City was doing. which wasn't anything special. Kansas City was dinking and dunking and doing screenplays. You knew that they didn't have the offensive threats to go downfield on you, and they weren't going to do that against your corners. They attacked you like you were worried about Kelsey. So you know what? Let me retract that slightly. They did something to try to take Kelsey out of the game because he only had 3 catches in the second half compared to the 4 or 5 he had in the first half.
And they weren't big catches.
Yeah. No, they weren't. Yeah, he had a big touchdown in the first half. Steven's right. It was like let me bring him up here. There we go. It was like TCU against Georgia. It was that ugly. Where the only difference was TCU was able to, the Eagles were able to go punch for punch with them for the most part. But it was defensively, they could not stop them.
No, you're thinking of TCU.
Oh,
against
Georgia. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Dave Peterson. Happy Friday, everyone. There's always next year. Wait, what's that smell? Spring training.
Not yet. TCU against Georgia was the game where. Wait, was TCU?
Yeah, that was the championship game.
Was it the championship game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the who did Georgia play in the? Was it Ohio State that Georgia played?
Yes, right.
Okay.
Then Michigan played TCU, right?
Right. Okay. Right. That was a close game. So, no, I can't.
Maybe we weren't really that good. He said.
Nope. No. So here's the deal. I feel like we were the best team. I stand by that. I agree. Gannon didn't adjust. The only counteraction that I will say about that, and I know our defense was probably better than most, like if not all the other teams that he played, was KC dinked and dunked on everybody all year long.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else could figure out how to stop them either. They went 14-3. Mahomes was the MVP with only 1 touchdown over 30 yards. So
it's crazy.
What I don't get how they managed to make it work, but I didn't see them press covering.
But nobody in the history of the NFL has won a Super Bowl with Dink and Duncan. Like it was a high-powered offenses and strong defense.
That's not true.
I feel like Brady did that most of the years.
Yeah, Brady did it, and Baltimore did it when they won. I mean, they weren't, throwing it out there. It was running game and dinking and dunking. It's been done.
And Kansas City had their running game going on.
They did. Pacheco had 15 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown.
Something Andy Reid's not known for.
15 carries to a back, and on the screenplays, McKinnon. I mean, actually, man, if McKinnon was missing part of his brain and went into the end zone, we could have been talking about a different type of game. But he had the whereabouts and knew to slide at the 2 and run out the clock.
Yeah, I was almost hoping like somebody would grab him and carry him in.
Throw him in, yeah. But it's just
push.
Look, yeah. There's so much to unpack. I mean, there's Gannon didn't adjust. We had a 10-point lead. We thought that Mahomes was hurt. How many of us sitting at halftime? Like, I remember I was just about to text you guys, like, guys, are we about to win the Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm. Because of him getting hurt. Yeah.
Because of him getting hurt. Yeah. We're up 10. We were up 22-8 in time of possession. Everything was leaning towards the Eagles winning. The Eagles were
they were dominating that game.
They were plus 530, I think, going into half.
Mm-hmm.
So you're thinking easy money.
Yeah.
I'll bet $530 and win $100.
Only 2 teams have lost 10-point leads in the Super Bowl coming out of halftime.
And how many of them had 22 minutes of time of possession?
Yeah, I doubt. Yeah, the Atlanta Falcons losing 28-3 or winning 28-3 and losing that game, and then the Eagles. Now 10 points is a lot better than 28-3 in the fourth quarter or third quarter, whatever it was. But
yeah, that was a tough one. But no, I mean, there's that. There's the field, the fact that it was slippery, and how you guys were talking about it a little bit before or as I kind of joined, that yeah, I feel like yes, it's a field for both of them, but I feel like it neutralized our best weapon in the pass rush. If they're slipping and sliding all over the field, that
Mhm.
neutralized it. There was the weak pass interference call.
hmm
That obviously ruined that ruined
decided
a
the
great
outcome.
Super Bowl for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
That was going to be an exciting finish for the world to watch, and the idiot refs ruined it for everyone.
Now, I guess we get. I mean, and Steve, yeah, 100% right. So previous to this game, 33 points was the most points ever scored by a losing team against the Eagles, and then the Eagles become the team that scores the most points with 35 to lose a Super
Right.
Bowl. Let's talk about that play. James Bradbury gets called for holding, basically ices the game.
I don't
Look,
think the ball was catchable.
it wasn't, and it didn't impact the play. So that's where my argument. Was it a penalty by the rules? Yes, it was. Even Bradbury said, "Yeah, I held him," but I was surprised they called. I thought they were going to let that slide. First of all, why even holding him?
That
Like,
was
why
that
you
was the
even
first.
do that?
Yeah,
But that part is the thing that bothers me. It's like, why even bother? Like, why would you even hold him there?
Yeah.
That was irritating. But the fact that you never, yeah. Steve said it's hold. He's right though. If it's holding, the ball being catchable isn't an issue. Pass
but it
interference.
wasn't. But was it really like it wasn't an
No.
egregious hold?
Interference
understand.
would be uncatchable.
Yeah, I get where Steven's coming from, but I don't think it was enough of a hold to call, especially at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree. That's definitely the case for sure. I just think that in that position, in that part of the game, you don't call it because, and again, they didn't lose the game because of the call. They didn't lose the game because they lost the game because the defense couldn't stop them the whole game.
It's not the only reason. It didn't, but it played a role. I mean, you wonder what happens if they don't call that hold, how that game finishes up.
You just look. My grandfather was a referee for years and years, and something he said to me was, "You never dictate a game on a call. Like you never let the outcome of a game fall on a
for sure.
Call.
Yeah.
Unless it's I don't know, running into the kicker or something. I guess something obvious like that. Like on a field goal try or something egregious. To me, that's not. And it was so late of a flag too. That's the thing that pisses me off. I think the most about it is that they waited until that ball landed out of bounds before it was incomplete, and then he threw the flag. And because Kansas City was screaming, and that's the only that's the only thing that bothers me. It's like if you should have caught it right there because it was before the ball was even in the air when he held him.
I feel like there was more holding on 75% of the plays in football than that play.
Yeah,
I feel like it was a weak call. I mean, by the letter of the law, you've heard it a million times. We've all heard it. There's a penalty on every single play in football.
Mm-hmm.
But that aside, I mean, sometimes you get the call, sometimes you don't.
Right.
And,
It should never.
the Eagles didn't get the call that time. The reason the Eagles lost this game is because during the mid second quarter, Andy Reid noticed a weakness in that defense. And
Hold on, before you say anything else, Steven, it wasn't a call in the first quarter. That's part of the problem. They didn't call it in the first quarter. They didn't call it all game. They didn't call one hold the whole game. So it wasn't a call in the first quarter. That's part of the problem. Go ahead, Gary.
But and Andy Reid noticed a weakness in the defense, and he exposed it. And Jonathan Gannon didn't have his guys to adjust. They just didn't adjust to the weakness that was exposed.
No, they didn't.
They just didn't.
You watched them run and dink and dunk all the way down, and then you thought, all right, well, they're inside the 20. This is where they hold them down. and they ran some plays where they ran motions and stuff like that and caught the defense napping or seeing something that they did in the first quarter, recognizing, okay, when we do this, this is what's going to happen.
Mhm.
And in the second half, they did the same thing, but instead ran it the other way. Instead of getting the guy fully in motion, they stopped and he broke towards the other way, knowing that full well that he was going to have that clear path. And they did it twice. On both touchdowns, the guy was wide
Oh
open.
yeah, that was corn dog, the corn dog play. He calls it,
And that was old school football.
and
But
it
that's
happened.
and Andy. That's what Andy does all year. Or that's like Andy's.
Play.
Yeah, yeah.
And Steve's right. I mean, 100%. Actually, Steve, I think you might be overshooting. Man, I'm overthinking this. They only stopped 2 times in the whole game. I thought it was only. Did they even punt? Did Kansas City punt? Maybe they punted.
They had a missed field goal.
Yeah, that was the only stop I remember. I guess maybe they did punt. I just don't remember. But
they had to have punted when on the drive that Mahomes got hurt. They had to punt, right?
I'm looking now.
I think they punted at least twice and then the missed field goal.
They did. Yeah, it was 2 punts. Yeah, he's right. It was 2 punts.
Missed
field goal returns for Covey, and a missed field goal. I guess I was just seeing red at that point, so to speak.
Well,
seeing red.
Yeah, but I mean, no,
but
you weren't seeing red because that was all in the first half. They didn't punt in the third. Like they didn't punt in the second.
I was irate the fact that they couldn't stop them. So I'm going to tell you right now, when they came out, when the Eagles are up by 10, they come out at halftime, and Kansas City goes right, and I'm like, Kansas City's getting the ball first,
right? And
they went right down the field and scored. I went, like I knew we were in trouble. Right then and there, like our like we were at a different party. Mike was at a different thing, and then Gary and I were with Ryan at his place, and you can tell things shifted a little bit. Even though you were still up, something didn't seem right. It just, I don't know, that pit in the bottom of the stumps, like they haven't stopped us, but we haven't stopped them either. This isn't good because it's Mahomes.
I didn't think that. I thought like I still had faith in our defense. I was like, we're dominating this game. We're going to march right down the field and score. And we marched down the field, and instead of scoring, and we kicked the field goal.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're up 6. I'm like, all right, now let's get a stop, take back control of this game. And by that point, you're in the fourth quarter. Like, if we get a stop, we kick field goal, game's over.
Yep. You're hoping someone can come up with a big. Leave it to Andy to call it the corn dog play.
Instead, they drove down, scored. We're up in the fourth quarter, and then we punted, which was the right move to make. A bad punt.
Yeah,
I heard everybody. Anybody who's thinking, "Oh, it's 3rd and 6. What are you doing punting from there? Whatever it was, 3rd and 4, whatever it was, from your own 30-yard line."
Oh, you had.
Why would you punt?
Oh, you had to punt.
There's so many people that are like, "Why did you get rid of the aggressiveness? Why would you give the ball back?" I'm like,
because you're basically you had to. You had to there.
The bad return, the bad punt, the bad kicker, like it just. And then they scored again, and then they were up 8, and then the Eagles scored, and you're like, all right, cool. Like,
yeah,
you're like, all right, you're in the game now. You finally need defense. Get your stop, and they did get the damn stop to force the field goal. If it wasn't for the holding call, and that would have been a 4th stop.
The X factor is that the Chiefs have a better coaching staff, more experienced coaching staff.
For sure.
And I'm not taking anything away from what the Eagles coaching staff has done this season, but Andy Reid's not a slouch. Like, he's not. He's been around a long time.
I feel like he's gotten better since went to Kansas City.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it helps when you have a more consistent quarterback too. But 100% that he's become a better coach. He's definitely, I mean, without a doubt, a Hall of Fame. And before this Super Bowl, he was a Hall of Fame coach anyway. Now he engraved him. I mean, he's no doubt first ballot Hall of Fame coach.
Well, now he's talked about as top 3, top 5, top 3.
Yeah, top 5 definitely. He's definitely top 5 now.
All time.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
And overwhelmingly adjusting NFL. because the NFL changes every few years.
Think about he's been a coach, and 23 years now, 24
Yeah.
years. He's been a head
Yeah.
coach in the league now, and the league has changed so often, and including something that we should probably talk about a little bit later. They're trying to implement another rule change to something the Eagles did really well all year.
Yes.
Steven's saying top 3 for him.
Right.
I mean, I can't argue with that. But definitely top 5 for sure. Just the longevity, the sustained success, and with 2 different teams.
Yep.
So, it's pretty awesome, man. It's good for him. I honestly, even though he's a terrible father, he's a hell of a coach, and he definitely deserves it. So, I mean, let's put it this way: he sacrificed his family for his career. So,
as all joking aside, he kind of did.
Yeah.
But there's lots of people that sacrifice their family for their career, and their kids don't end up being jerk offs.
Yep. Junk Phil's fans checking in. If you don't follow them on Facebook or Twitter, the Drunk Phil's fans page, you're missing out. And they're putting together a nice little bar. He's got a nice little bar going on. He's going to have it ready for opening day. So go check those guys out, man. It's good.
Nice.
Good
yeah, they're starting to kind of, they're out from a hibernation. Their little hibernation, and kind of going to start. They're going to be poking their head out a lot more nowadays with baseball starting up.
Yep, we'll definitely hit on a little baseball a little bit later. But I just want to hit
on baseball is basically saying I'm not ready for it though. So as much as
yeah, well, that's true too.
So as much as you guys are excited about it and stuff, I can't do it. I'm going to need at least another week, maybe 2.
Yeah, well, you have that time for sure.
Yeah.
So I just, so you brought up the time possession earlier, and it's insane. Like, if you listen to these stats, right, you just close your eyes, and you hear 35 minutes to 24, and you hear 72 plays to 53 plays. Like, what do you're thinking? Oh my God, that's domination.
Think about the difference in quarterbacks. 304 yards and 70 yards rushing to 180 and 40, 50?
182, 3 touchdown passes, though, for Mahomes.
Right.
21 to 27, only 6 incompletions. Hurts had to throw the ball 38 times, completed 27. Still a good percentage.
Yeah, not
Hurts
bad. Hurts was probably the best player on the field that game.
Yeah, it was one of the greatest Super Bowl performances by a quarterback ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that he did fumble the football. I mean, that's not great, but
yeah,
it happens.
Well, even that, a self-inflicted wound calls that.
Yes,
because
it's 3rd and 1. You're going to do that push play and get the first down. Instead, now it's 3rd and 6, and that's where the fumble happened.
Yep. Yeah.
Who knows what happens if that doesn't? Now, I don't know. I think that
a quarterback is going to lose the ball and lose track of the ball if he's got a hand in his fucking face mask too.
Yeah, he got face masked. But you know what? Whatever. We're not gonna be that.
Yeah, we're not going to be the 49ers fans.
No. I mean, there's so many things. Because in my mind, because I heard people saying Hurts was the reason why we lost. I'm like, you need to stop watching. You need to stop watching football then, honestly, because he more than made up for that fumble, scoring 4 touchdowns.
Hurts is the reason the Eagles lost.
That's what people were saying.
You're the reason your mom's a whore.
I mean, that's
that 2-point conversion.
Oh my God! Because everyone knew it was coming, they couldn't stop it.
Yeah,
I'm coming day and night.
Yes, he was.
Now, by the way, Kansas City scores that touchdown instead of a field goal. So we didn't necessarily lose by 3. We technically lost by 7. They only needed 3. But again, without that holding call, then we're only down by 3. But I hate to lament on that. I hate to kind of continue to the field, the lack of the pass rush, which maybe was due to the field. I don't know what happened to the team there. The fact that all of a sudden Brandon Graham's getting like 10 snaps or something.
He played 16 snaps. That was it. I don't understand that at all.
Why would you have that rotation all year and then all of a sudden
I don't know what happened
stick with stick with
Stick with your
Reddick.
veterans. Stick with your vets who've got you there.
Like,
So
why would you do the rotation all year and then have Reddick play every down? Like, oh well, we're getting you're not getting your best because your best players are getting tired out. Your advantage was the rotation. Why would you go away from your advantage that you're going to tire teams out at the?
And they only had 24 minutes of time possession, so they couldn't have been that tired.
That's
It wasn't like they were having drives. It wasn't like they were having these long 9-minute drives. We had the longest drive, right? Didn't we have the longest drive?
Yes. Yes.
So-
Andy Reid struck fear in them and that coaching staff. Like Andy Reid scared them.
Him not being on the field.
Like, well, why else wouldn't you put your guys on there?
Well,
Like even Lavelle Joseph and Ladamica Sue, they played 10 snaps apiece. 10.
they were just trying to be too cute or something. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get speed on the outside. Because I will say this. So you brought up the field. I'm glad you did it. People are like, oh, well, the Chiefs had to play on it too. And the Eagles aren't going to make those excuses. Nor should they, right? Nor should you become the 49ers, who
But wait.
about everything. But watching some of the videos, the very little I watched, because I got to be honest, I didn't see any of the celebration. I haven't seen any pictures of them hoisting the Lombardi. I haven't watched many post-game interviews. I haven't watched much.
Just stayed off Facebook.
But I was watching a little bit of all 22 stuff. The outside rushers could not get any footing. Every time they got close, they were slipping. As soon as they made that turn, they were falling. Both sides.
Like the Eagles.
So I
Go
know
ahead,
the
Sean, I'm
Chiefs played
sorry.
on the same field. I know that Chiefs played on the same field. Absolutely.
I'm going to make a point to what you're saying, though.
But one of our biggest strengths going into this game, and one of the reasons why we said they were going to win, is because that defensive line was going to get to Mahomes.
Yeah.
And you took that out of the game. You neutralized that with that shit-ass field. That offensive line wasn't that great. I'm sorry. They're not that great. But when guys can't get on their footing.
Right. Like our edge rushers were the best edge rushers on defense in the entire league all season. So when an edge rusher is coming around, he has to get down into a 45-degree angle, and he's got to be able to bend. Okay, so even if you're changing your cleats, when you're on a shitty field, you get down in that 45-degree angle and you get to that bend, you're going to lose your footing because you got no other choice. Like the balance just can't be there on a slippery field. I'm not making excuses. That's just what that type of rusher needs. And if he can't get his footing, no matter how many times he changes his cleats, he's got to stay upright now. And that's not his strength. That's why we're not going to be able to put pressure on the quarterback.
But you still feel like they had to have done something. Like they couldn't have been like the field couldn't have made every bit of difference. Yeah, I didn't hear about this, Dave.
Yeah, so Dave Peterson said, what bothers me a lot is Roger Goodell was calling on live TV saying, I don't care how you hit the quarterback to Chris Jones. And I don't look like a 49ers fan, but come on, we lost. But I didn't hear that. I didn't see any of the interview after the game. So I don't know what you did, Mike. So even before the Hail Mary, I was like, it's over, right? I kind of left the room, and the ball falls, 15.
Oh yeah, I mean whatever. That
It
didn't matter.
I didn't even see it land.
Yeah.
And Ryan just shuts the TV off and throws the remote on the floor, and we just sat there. We just sat there.
Yeah.
We just sat there for 10 minutes.
The game was on. I mean, the channel was on. We were just kind of sitting and talking, like everybody was kind of leaving, saying goodbyes and stuff like that. And then at the end of it, it was just my dad and I just sitting there. I don't know if the game was on. I don't know what was on. I forget what was on TV, but we just sat and just stared and talked and just, I don't know. We were kind of in disbelief, in shock, and we were angry, but my dad kind of at least took a little solace, and it's the other part of this that we haven't talked about yet, and that we really should. The other side of it is, it was a great season. It was an entertaining season. It was a fun ride.
Yes, 100%. And the same could be said for the Phillies. But
Yes.
And the Phillies have done a lot in the offseason to make you think they have a shot to get back.
Listen to this. Like Jalen Hurts has not even reached his peak yet. Every year the kid is getting better.
Well,
so can you imagine what he's going to have on that field next season?
So that's what I was going to.
Like Christ.
We'll see what happens because Howie hasn't let us down. often. But they're going to lose 22 guys possibly are heading for free agency. You may keep 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah, but this season and next season, Sean, they got a butt ton of picks.
They don't. They have a lot of early draft picks. They don't have
yeah.
picks, but they have a lot of early draft picks, which is good. So in the next 2 years, they have what 3 and 6.
And two of your early picks from last year didn't even play this year.
Right.
In Nakobe Dean and Cam Jurgens. So we'll see what happens.
And Jordan Davis really didn't play that much. Jordan Davis is now going to get a chance to play a lot more.
Like Cam Jurgens, he's a second-round pick. He'll be on the field next season, guaranteed.
Yes.
Oh, whether he's playing in Salamalu's place or playing center if Kelsey leaves.
Yeah.
Yes, he'll be on the field.
That's what I love.
Yeah.
That's what I love about what the Eagles have done is building through the trenches and knowing that your offensive line's good now, really good, and one of the best in there, but yet you're still using a second-round pick on the next guy up.
Mm-hmm. And Pat, I agree with you. He said I shut it off at the end too. I couldn't watch any of the celebration.
Yes.
What hurts me the most is now that teams don't make it back-to-back a lot. We're going to lose a lot of players, and that was our opportunity. So that's kind of where I was getting at with the Phillies and the Eagles thing. It was a great season, 100% right. But the whole thing is we'll be back next year thing. It's not that easy, man.
No,
football's hard.
That's not what I was getting at with that. Like it being a great season doesn't mean it's all right. We'll be back.
Like it's hard enough to get there with veterans, and now you're going to have a lot of young players.
Yeah, you know
like
what?
It's hard. Like
what we do need is we need a veteran DC. We don't need a young gadget. We need a veteran DC that's not going to be too big for the moment.
Mm-hmm. I just don't know. I mean, Lovie Smith might be your one option. I mean, there's other veterans out there, but guys who aren't too big for the moment, who've been in the playoffs, there aren't too many.
I'd love to see a defensive coordinator with a more of emphasis on the blitz.
Well, then the guy from Arizona is
Vance
Joseph loves the blitz. He's more aggressive. He's probably the most aggressive defensive coordinator candidate you probably have out there. So he might be the guy you want for that position. They're also interviewing the guy from Seattle too. But
who was it that said? Was it Ryan?
I like the idea of Lovie Smith though, Sean. I like that idea.
Wasn't it Ryan that came up with or said something about like the Arizona's defense falls off at the end of the year every year though? Yeah.
But they didn't have talent. Right. They didn't have much talent.
No, they didn't have the talent that we had. No,
that Arizona, that whole organization, it's just a fucking disaster.
I hear you, but I mean, at the same time, if the Eagles broke records almost without blitzing, with Gannon, it makes you like maybe if they blitzed, they wouldn't be as effective, or maybe they would have given up. Like they didn't seem other than like needing to adjust in the Super Bowl, they didn't need to blitz.
What did you like? I'm just
they steamrolled through the first 2 games, so you didn't know Gannon didn't have to play. Gannon didn't have to prepare. Like they dominated the game so much that it didn't matter until you got to face KC and not.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like that's what I was going to say. Like this is the thing that irritates me is that you knew because you're going against a better team offensively. You're going against the best quarterback in the league, arguably,
which they didn't do all season. They have not played a quarterback.
A great coaching staff.
Yeah,
you have to prepare. You have to come up with something different because they have all this tape on you. They know what you're going to do. The fact that you knew that Andy Reid was going to sit there and try to pick you apart underneath.
Exactly what he did.
The fact that you didn't do a press coverage, you didn't even try to bring guys up to allow some time for your front four to try to get to him. Instead, it was quick passes. He got back, boom, gone. Ball's out. Anytime he even got close, the ball was already out of his hands.
But even that, Sean, like if they would have blitzed and he was still able to get the pass out, as long as they blitz and they get in there and they hit him, just to razzle him, just to let them know we're coming.
Yeah.
It's going to make the quarterback think a little bit. They didn't do any of that.
I know it's easy to,
right, because we're armchair quarterbacks. Yeah, we're not the guys on the field. Right. No, we're sitting in an armchair.
But wouldn't you think, like, just common sense, like, We can't
Yeah, like
get him with our 4. We're letting this guy pick us apart. Try something different to get in his face, and they didn't.
Like we're sitting here like, what the fuck, man? You're making millions of dollars to be a coordinator. It ain't rocket science. Like
How many-
send the guy up the middle, just hit him.
Not
Like knock the guy on his ass.
If you're not blitzing, you're playing zone coverage. Why is there a wide open guy every time? Wide open with like 10 yards of the guy. Juju Smith-Schuster has 7 catches in the second half. What?
Yeah.
Like now, granted, Kelsey had 3, so maybe that was your neutral. You know, you neutralize that. Maybe that. But come on, you have more defenders on the field than they have receivers going out. Figure something out. They should not be that wide open.
But he's
Maybe,
got the ball.
maybe instead of doing that, like you were winning when Kelsey got his. Why not let Kelsey get his and stop everybody else?
Yeah. At some point, right? You know, a safety's going to come up and pick it off, or knock it down, or something, right? If you cover everyone else like glue, but they failed to do that, man. The other thing too, Eagles failed to rush the ball. If you look at the team stats, it looks good because Hurts had 70 yards. Gainwell 7 carries, 21. Sanders 7 for 16 yards. That was
Scott,
major.
I don't even know if he carried it.
Scott had like 12 yards. Major disappointing.
Sanders fell off big time in the playoffs.
Mhm.
Big time.
Yeah. It makes you fucking sit here and think, well, maybe that's why they grabbed that fucking Sermon off waivers.
Maybe. I think they're taking a running back in the draft though. But it's the end of the first round or in the second or something. They're going to take a running back.
You know what, Sean? There's quite a few that are the style that they need.
Mm-hmm.
Big backs.
Yeah, I don't know if they need a big, unless they're just going to say, hey, Gainwell, we drafted you 2 years ago or last year. You know, you're the guy now.
Nah, Sean, like they need a big back, and then Gainwell has to be the offset back because that's what he is, and he's good at it. He's been very good at it.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
I don't think that Gainwell and Scott are enough to carry the load. I mean,
Not,
I don't know if
not
he
big
necessarily-
enough.
Unless Sermon becomes your guy, unless you just throw him in because he's a bigger guy.
Like they picked him up for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't play him for a reason too.
Well, he couldn't get in. He got Sanders stayed healthy all season. Gainwell stayed healthy, and Scott stayed healthy. Where were you going to squeeze him in at?
Well, I mean, if he was, you would have thought that maybe he was better. Like, I guess you like those 3 guys. So, but if Sermon's not better than those 3 guys, then he's the worst of those 3.
I wouldn't say better. I'd say different, Mike. He's a different back. I'm not saying he's the answer to the running back needs. You know what I mean? But you don't know because we didn't see him.
Yeah. Never got to see him.
There's shit, man. Zeke might be available.
Ah, fuck him.
No, I'm good on that.
He needs to go get fed. Fucking asshole.
You're embarrassing yourself, you geriatric fuck!
That's what I think about Zeke.
Yeah, he's probably washed up. He probably can't.
Yeah.
But there's got to be. It's running backs are the easiest commodity right now,
Yeah.
especially with that offensive line.
Well, so that's a good segue. One of the strengths this year for the Eagles was the fact that they were able to get a lot of short yardage situations go in their favor because of the tush push. And now there's a strong consensus that the NFL is going to try to ban the tush push because it's not aesthetically pleasing. Other words, like, you know, we can't figure out a way to stop it, so we're going to outlaw it because
Yeah,
it's
but
not.
isn't there other stuff that you can't stop that's not outlawed?
Like, I mean, why don't you get rid of the kneel down or allow maybe every throwaway out of bounds should be a 15-yard penalty then? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to do that, you got to start looking at other aspects of the game then if you're worried about that.
Well, you know what? That's a great point.
How
Sean.
about kickoffs? Kickoffs are worthless now.
But if
Absolutely
you don't-
worthless.
But if you don't stop the tush push, like eventually a defender is going to come across the top just to get a lick on a quarterback, and that's
Let
not.
it
Gonna,
happen.
Then it
Let it
happens.
happen.
But how many times? Not one injury. Hurts was never injured on a play like that. Now,
like all the times he did it, he missed once. One time.
Do you think
He missed once on 3rd one. They came back on 4th and 1 and got it.
Yes. But
these
he's
offensive linemen
still missed.
love that? They love it's like a rugby match. They're like, yeah, like you think Malott is like, this is what I was used to.
Yeah.
You know,
But
like,
now,
they love that.
listen to this. If you look at that formation, every time they're like, it's a penalty because they're not set. Like that's a penalty every time that ball's hiked.
What are you talking about?
Like you're looking at me like they're not set. Like it's not like
What
it's
is Whatever.
when
Time
they-
the Eagles
when-
have done it,
yes. Like if you look at it, Sean, if they wanted to call it, it could be a penalty.
they're
Honestly,
set
like
every time.
I'm just saying, look at it. Like you're
I
looking at
Look at it. I don't. Guys,
it could-
they don't put guys in motion for it. The guys are set.
all right. I'm telling you, it's a penalty.
Okay.
It is a penalty.
I'll have to look. I don't think I've ever seen
I don't
it.
understand.
I don't think I've ever seen it and said they're
All
not.
right. Well, I'll say this. Just Gary was fucking nuts. Now I got to look at this. You know what I mean? Just go back and look at the few times that they did it. You're gonna be like, all right, well, maybe it is a penalty.
So who am I looking at?
Look at
Who's
the-
moving?
As they're and no, Sean, as they're looking down at the ball, look across the line underneath before the ball's hiked.
What guys
And
are
just
moving?
yeah, tell me what you see.
So they should have been called false start every time then.
Yeah, but you can't see it. The refs can't see it. Sayamalo got called for it because he was seen. Every time that formation is set up, a penalty could be called.
I'll have to see. I'll have to look. But
Like just don't call me an asshole till you look at it.
But
After you look at it and you look
I will
at it a
say,
few
though,
times, Gary,
some of
you're
the
an
times-
asshole.
some of the times they've done it though, the defensive line, the nose tackle is over the ball, which is
Yeah.
that's neutral zone, and they never call that. So, or they haven't called it a few times. I've seen it when they've been in that formation, trying to
Yeah.
get leverage, trying to get there quick enough. What the fuck, Samala, man? Dude, you're on the other side too. He's running to the left. Like you didn't even have anything to do with the play.
But no, I mean the thing is that the other reason that it works is because your
God damn,
quarterback bench press is like 700 and some pounds.
That shit's tasting fucking good.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Oh, you got a Guinness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing too, man. Like, you got a quarterback who can squat, 600 or whatever, and you don't like it, stop it. End of the story. Like, you don't
Right.
like it, stop it. I mean, aesthetically pleasing. I'm sorry, as an Eagles fan, I loved it. Every time they went for it, I loved it.
They're going to outlaw it. They're going to outlaw it though, Sean. They're going to make it a penalty
Well, what exactly about it is the penalty?
because
What
they're
are they making
pushing.
the
They're
penalty?
pushing the quarterback on. They're putting hands on the quarterback's ass to push him.
Okay.
Because it's not aesthetically pleasing.
Right. Well, it's a safety concern for the quarterback.
That's not what they're worried about. That's not why
Well,
they're saying
that's the way they're going to portray it, Sean.
it. Yeah, but they already
yeah, but
have.
how, like they
have it.
like he never got hurt. Like, and they're the
He
only
never
team
got
that did it.
hurt.
He never got
It's-
hurt.
And if he gets hurt, then that's their fault for doing it.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
I'm saying, like the only way to defend that is you're going to have a fucking a defender come across the top to get a lick on the quarterback.
then outlaw hurdling. Then, like, don't let guys hurdle the ball. If you hurdle, you get 15 yards.
It's just the point I'm making, bro.
Just do-
That's
yeah,
all.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is
It's
that
not
like
a
you couldn't,
safety thing,
you
though.
can't get over the top and get a lick because Hurts is underneath those guys. You can't even dive over top to get a lick
Right.
because you're diving over top of a guy that's you're going to dive right past him.
Yeah, he's getting so low.
I'm telling you, I know how the NFL thinks. It's something that our team is successful at. Other teams have not been successful at it. The other teams are complaining about it because they can't defend it. They're going to outlaw it. They're going to make it a penalty.
Yeah, but what else? What else have they
Eagles are so
outlawed?
good. Of course, they want to ban it.
What else have they outlawed that one team was really good at?
Not a catch. This is a catch. That ain't a catch.
That is that's not an advantage that one team had over any other team.
But wasn't there a player that did that, and then it was a problem, and then he made it. Well, let's look at this. Look at this.
That's Bryant.
There
But
it is.
That's not why. I mean, that's not.
Yeah, but that was because it was a play that that wasn't a team that had an advantage. That was just a rule that they changed because they were trying to define what I don't know. I don't
Wasn't
remember
the
them-
over top? Someone used to go over the top all the time. Was it Ray? It wasn't Ray Lewis. Someone, a good player, used to go over the top.
Better than underneath.
all the
Yeah.
time, and then they had to outlaw that. I forget
Yeah.
that was not that long ago.
Like
Not that
even the running back, when the running back is when we're on the goal line, the running back gets the ball. Even if he jumps over, ain't that a penalty now?
No.
That's not a penalty.
Yeah, you're allowed. Yeah, you can jump over.
I know that they outlawed the launch pad, launching off somebody in the extra points to block
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
Hey, right. And the lineman's not allowed to grab the running back and pull him either
Yeah,
over
but
the line.
A defensive lineman is also not allowed to jump over an offensive lineman anymore.
Right.
So, whatever. Quick question before
Let me get a
before
beer.
yeah. Who would you rather keep between the two? Because this has been kind of the debate all week. Because a lot of people believe you can only keep one. Are you keeping C.J. Gardner-Johnson, or are you keeping James Bradbury? If you have a choice between the two of them.
I'm
Dave
keeping.
Peterson, line of the night right here. Well, Rihanna was not pleasing to the eye, but we were made to watch that shit. Yeah, I don't know what that was.
I'm keeping Bradbury.
Are you?
I think cornerback is a more premier position. Are they? They're the same age, right? Neither one's older or like on the decline. I feel that Bradbury was a really strong cover guy. I feel that Gardner Johnson benefited from interception, so his numbers look a little better than
Gardner Johnson's 4 years younger than Bradbury. Bradbury's 29. Gardner Johnson's 25.
He's the one you got to resign.
Well, then I guess I'm changing my thing. Like if I don't want a guy going on the decline. For 1 year, I think I would take Bradbury just because I think that it's more premier position. I think that Gardner Johnson isn't going to lead the league in interceptions. I feel that like some of that's kind of dumb luck. But the younger guy, that's makes it a little bit harder.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking even before I even looked at their ages. I had been thinking Gardner Johnson anyway, because I get the fact that having a really good corner on the other side is big, and it is. I also think you can probably draft one. Like you're not gonna. I mean, you can draft a safety as well, but I just think that you have an opportunity this year. If you really wanted to get a corner, you can draft one in the first round if you want.
There's just something different about Garner, man. There's just something different about that kid.
Yeah, but you know what? I thought that like corner is the more premier position, so you'd be able to like Gardner Johnson would be easier to replace later in the draft without needing as premier of a pick, the way you could address other things earlier.
He could be. I think back like when he got hurt, and Blankenship came in, and like Blankenship had the first game was good, and then he kind of fell off, and then they were getting burned over the top, and it happened quite a bit. And now, granted, Slay and Bradbury had been healthy, so we hadn't seen that, portray the other way. Like or play out the other way. If one of those guys were hurt, we didn't get to see how bad they were exposed. Although Maddox, we did. Avonte Maddox being out, we saw a big difference there. But
yeah,
and Bradbury's already said he wants to test the market, which means he wants to get paid.
Before they even got to the Super Bowl, he was saying, "I'm ready for free agency."
Yeah,
like, man.
Yeah, that's kind of. But you know what? I mean, Gardner Johnson got screwed this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like they cut him to where he kind of didn't have a chance to test free agency the way that he really should have. So I don't blame him for chomping at the bit for free agency.
Oh, you mean a Bradbury getting
Bradbury? Yeah.
Yeah. Gardner Johnson was traded for, right?
Right.
Yeah, he wasn't cut.
Yeah, but Gardner Johnson was
he was traded.
He's on but Gardner Johnson was probably still on like a rookie scale deal. So I mean, even
it could be, yeah.
Like Bradbury should have had free agency last year, so he's more chomping at the bit because he got screwed out of it last year. Gardner Johnson
that's
didn't get screwed out of it.
And he earned his money. I mean, he played his ass off this year.
Yeah,
so
he was on a really team-friendly contract.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I feel that those should be the top two free agent signings I would sign both of them.
You sign both of them if you can. I'm good with that.
I mean,
Let's-
like
I don't think you're going to be able to get both.
I'd sign
I
both of them
just
and
don't.
let. I would sign both of them and let Hargraves and Graham and Kelsey go.
Man,
Kelsey's probably retiring either way.
I
Like Hargrave was a big
there's
part
no
of the
way you're
reason.
gonna let. There's no way they're gonna
Hargrave,
let Kelsey go.
even if he wasn't the one that got him, but Hargraves is a good part of the reason why we had 78 sacks, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I retract Kelsey. Kelsey's going to retire. Going to retire.
So,
So
between
with Kelsey retiring, yeah.
So you're letting Hargrave and Brandon Graham go to keep Bradbury and
Because I feel like
Brian Johnson.
I feel like you have.
Well,
I don't
for the
think
future-
I don't think Brandon Graham retires with wearing anything other than an Eagles jersey.
Yeah, but for the future of the team, though, that's probably the route you want to take. Because 25 and 29 years old compared to Brandon Graham, who's 34, who I love. I mean, look, I love Brandon Graham. And man, I can't even say that though.
Yeah, sometimes you
I
just
can't
got
say it
to.
out loud. Can't say it out loud, but
Sometimes you just got to cut bait, man.
I don't want to. I mean, I'd love to have them all, but like, if it's between Bradbury or Brandon Graham, I'm taking Bradbury because I feel like you still have Reddick, you still have Sweat, you still have who's the other guy that had a ton of sacks?
Barnett. Well, Barnett was hurt.
yeah,
Well,
Barnett was
Barnett. Yeah, no, not Barnett. They had another edge that killed it.
good.
Reddick.
They had Reddick, they had Graham
Sweat, Cox.
and Sweat. Yeah.
No,
Um,
Cox wasn't an edge rusher, Sean.
No, I said in general the line.
No,
No,
yeah,
we were
so
talking about edge.
who had the 10
we're talking
sacks?
about the edge.
Who had the 10 sacks this year? Was it?
That was Reddick.
It was Reddick. It
No,
was
Reddick had
Sweat.
16 sacks.
Right, Reddick, Sweat, Graham. Was it Cox and Hargraves? Was that the five?
Cox,
That had...
Cox is not an edge rusher.
No. I'm wondering who had 10 sacks from the defensive line.
There was 3 of them.
Was there only 3 that had 10? And
It
then
was
Hargraves,
Sweat. It was Sweat.
Sweat, Graham,
Reddick,
and Graham.
and Graham.
Okay. But yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, look at Brandon Graham. Like he came off of an Achilles tear. He's 34 years old, and he had 10 sacks.
right.
Mm.
You got Barnett maybe coming back, and you could draft an edge.
Yeah,
early.
Sweat, Hargrave, Graham, and Reddick all had double digits.
See, Hargraves in there,
Yeah, he had
Hargraves
11.
is- Yeah.
He had 11.
and Hargraves is a good reason that
I knew there was
the edge
4.
rushers got them sacks.
I knew there was 4 because they kept saying they were the only team ever in history to
Yeah.
have 4 guys in double digit sacks.
Maybe you could bring back Hargraves. Maybe you bring back Gardner Johnson, Hargraves, and Bradbury, and you're getting rid of Cox, you're getting rid of Graham, and you're getting rid of Kelsey, and you're still kind of
I think I'm all right with that.
But you know
you
what?
still have
Mike,
Jordan Davis.
like all these players that you're talking about, it depends on what defensive coordinator comes in here, what his philosophy is going to be.
Sure.
If those players match his scheme.
Right.
Dave Peterson said, "Who knows? Who knows what Howie was going to pull out of his ass this year?"
Yeah, but I mean,
Right.
at the same time, you want to make sure that you're getting younger.
You want to get younger, so as much as it look, they're not going to let Kelsey go. It's up to Kelsey to retire. They're not
Right.
So he'll be back if he wants to be back. That's so
Right, but enough of this. I'll give it one more season. Like if you want to come back, if you
No,
want to come back, you need at least 2.
no, he's
Yeah,
not going to
nah.
do that.
Yeah, he's not
Well,
gonna
then, that hurts the Eagles. Then, like you're giving you're going to give another $14 million for one season. Come on.
Well, I guess you're going to have to, right? If you're not going to let him go,
So you're looking at
or he signs somewhere else for 14.
what's up, Dave Langle.
I don't think he'll sign anywhere else.
Right.
Like if
you-
it's either you do this or this, all right, then I'm going to retire. Like he's not going to test free agency.
Right.
He's not.
So you got then he plays center and Jurgens replaces Sayamalu
Mm-hmm. That's what they're thinking.
if he comes back. If he doesn't come back,
But wait a minute, Siamal was a guard, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So they're going to move to guard.
Jurgens is only 265 pounds, man. That's the kind of guy. That's the guy you want there as guard. No.
That's what they're
What else are
saying.
you going to do?
Oh man.
What are you going to do? You're just
Yeah,
talking about bringing back Kelsey.
Right. I hear what you're saying, Mike, but damn,
Unless
200
Jurgens is 300 pounds, dude.
he's 300 pounds.
6'3", 300 pounds.
All right. That
So-
makes a difference.
and then you draft another damn lineman in the second round to sit waiting in the wings.
Honestly, Mike, I think they go lineman with their first pick. I
thought
think
lineman-
they grab Lane Johnson's replacement.
They're going defense.
I don't think they can go. They can't replace Lane Johnson yet. Lane Johnson's how many more years does Lane Johnson have on his contract?
Take a look.
I think too.
They're not going to draft somebody at 10th overall
And let him sit
to
for 2
sit for
years.
2 years.
That's a good point.
You might consider letting them sit for a year.
Well, Ciamalo, he's a free agent. And he's going to get paid.
Yeah,
Not
you
here,
let-
but he is going to get paid.
Yeah, you let him go.
Yeah.
Lane Johnson. Oh, shit. Yeah, Lane Johnson's here until
He's got 2 more years, right?
Season of 2025.
Shit. 2
He's
more
here
years.
3 more years. 23,
Are all of them
24,
guaranteed?
25.
Are they guaranteed?
Yeah. So let me see what the cap hit. Oh yeah, they're not letting him go.
That's a cap. That's cap friendly. His contract. Ain't it, Sean?
No, it's not.
It is not.
Now 24 million this year,
Who?
14.6, and then 15.9 the following, and then after that,
Who?
it's 2.3 in 26.
Yeah, but he can
It's an option, I think. Let me see.
restructure that.
They can restructure it, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, I guess there's options.
But if they're restructuring, they're just kicking it down the road a little further.
Yeah.
Or just giving them the money up front.
Right.
It's crazy. All right. Yeah, I don't. I guess.
Yeah, I mean we're getting further down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I was just gonna say any final thoughts before we move on from the Super Bowl.
Again, I think it was a really good season. I think we need to at some point take a step back and reflect on like what a fun ride it was. They look back and reflect on the great, like the undefeated season, as far as they went into the undefeated season, the domination in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, the excitement going into the Super Bowl, being favored, leading up to it, being up 10 in the first half, the dominating time, like it was all fun. And football is entertaining. Football is supposed to be entertaining. It sucks. It's a kick in the balls when your team loses, but they did their job.
Could be
and they
worse.
entertained us.
You could be a Cowboys fan.
Yes.
You know, you have 28 years of nothing. You know.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. I guess I'm in the same boat. You know, it was a fun year. To be honest, there's a lot more going on in my life right now to be upset about, where it was a distraction for me, which was nice. Nice to kind of get my mind off of other things going on. So that was good, and that's basically what it's supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be a distraction. It's supposed to, give you 3 hours on a Sunday to kind of, get your mind off of things, right? So it did its job for me. It gave me excitement. I mean, the Super Bowl. I mean, we had a lot of things to cheer about in the Super Bowl too. It wasn't like we got blown out or something stupid like that, right? We were excited. Like we were cheering, and even up to the end, the 2-point conversion, getting that 2-point conversion to tie it at 35.
Look, it was the game. The game was exciting. The game was great. The game, you were on the edge of your seat until you seen the little yellow thing that said flag. Until you seen that yellow flash that said flag. I
got up, and walked it. I was like, game over.
And you knew that was the game. That until that point, the Eagles were absolutely in that game. There was a good chance that they won that game until that flag hit.
So Pat,
That
Pat
touchdown pass to AJ Brown. Whoo,
oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
whoo.
Pat Mullen. We will never. We will never move on from the Super Bowl. Easily the worst moment in my sports life. I'll never get over it. Dave Peterson. I know Dave Peterson's pretty upset about it. He had a pretty nice write up. He's upset about it. Dave Langle said the better coach won.
Yes.
Yeah, right now. Yeah, he did. He did.
Even
He's
with
right about
the little swirly line over the E, I'm not sure what that is, but
The
it's a nice touch.
But if they get there again, like Sirianni's not going to let that happen again, guaranteed.
You wonder if they needed, like, did Mahomes win his first one when he first went? And even if he did,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
But did he
beat the 49ers 31-9?
Right. Did they
He also had a fucking 19-year season head
Right.
coach.
No, but not only that, but there was at least a year or two where they made it to the conference championship and he lost, right?
Yeah, one was no, he wasn't in the league
Probably
yet.
in New England.
No, 'cause that was Alex Smith. Yeah, he wasn't in the league yet when they blew that bad call in 15. Yeah, that was against New England. And Mahomes wasn't there yet. That was Alex
I
Smith.
feel like Mahomes paid his due before he ended up winning the Super Bowl, though. It wasn't his first year in the playoffs.
No, it might not have been. No, it wasn't. Because I think they had made it the year before.
And Andy Reid traded up 27 spots to get him.
Yeah.
Was it 27 spots?
27 spots.
I remember watching that when that happened.
I remember being at
Where were we at?
Yeah, we're all like, Mahomes, who
Patty
the fuck's
Wax.
this guy?
Where were we?
I remember I was at Patty Wax. Were we doing a show then?
Yeah, I think we must have been.
Isn't that the
I
show we
remember
did with that's the show we did with Fourth and Go, ain't it?
I think it might have been because I remember being out somewhere watching that because I haven't been out for drafts in a while, and that was probably one of the last ones.
That was the Trubisky where Chicago traded a boatload to move up to get Trubisky, and he sucked.
Yeah.
And then like second or third was another quarterback that didn't turn out to be very good. And then,
that wasn't the Wilson year.
and then Watson and Mahomes were both drafted later in that, and they were both the best two.
Mahomes also had his daddy Roger Goodell sit in the stage for him.
Dave
You know,
Pearson, all conspiracy theory.
I gotta say though,
You think
I gotta say he's the NFL's face.
he's the
the
darling?
NFL's
Yeah, but
face.
why can't Jalen Hurts be that?
Maybe he will be. Maybe he will be one day.
Maybe he
you know.
Because
Maybe he needs
because he don't have 2 rings on his finger, Mike. That's why.
Yeah, why
Well,
couldn't
he
have
would have
one?
had one.
I'll tell you
He could have
what,
just
man.
as many as Mahomes.
If Hurts, I guess this would be my final thought, and then we'll move on.
Even with the loss, I think the Eagles were the better team.
I said that to start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hurts composure, even following a big loss like that, and how focused he was. Basically saying this is gonna make me better, where I'm gonna learn from this, and it's gonna make me better. Now we've heard that before from guys, and you're like, Hurts though. I believe it, man. Like I think
Yes.
he's
What
gonna
has he?
work
What has he
his-
said that? What has he said, or what has he done that doesn't make you think he's genuine, or what? That makes
Yeah,
him that
exactly.
Even
and-
even in the post Super Bowl press conference, he's asked, like, "What do you feel you have done to warrant a huge contract this offseason?" He said, "Well, I'm here to win championships. Maybe there's a day that we have that conversation, but today
not
is
now.
not going to be that day."
Right.
What if this is the new Brady and Manning duel? You know, like or not even duel. What if this is the new Brady and Manning era where it's those two going and getting rings back and forth?
No, it's not because they're not in the same conference.
No.
Era-
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying going at it head to head against each other. I'm saying the NFL led.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that I think the Brady and Manning comparison would be more the Burrow and Mahomes.
Damn, Mike, that's like you're getting ready to nut and you're saying, "Pull it out, go to bed." Like, can I finish? Can I?
I don't
tell
think you understand what I'm saying.
Let me tell you something.
I'm not saying go head to head and playing each other in the Super Bowl every year. That's not what I'm saying.
No, I understand.
I'm saying the NFL having 2 top tier quarterbacks going at it for, just leading the league for a long time.
I think Burrow's in that conversation now, isn't he?
I don't know. I don't know if he is.
Okay.
I don't know if Josh Allen's on the same. I got to be honest, man. Like,
I wouldn't put Josh Allen or Herbert right now. I wouldn't put Josh Allen or Herbert in that. I think that the top 3 are Burrow, Hurts,
and Mahomes.
And Mahomes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I said to Gary on the way home from the game, we're driving. I said, I don't feel like doing this again. What? I said, this whole, it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
It is. It takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, like get all fired
man.
up, and it's on your mind, and then you lose, and you're just like,
yeah. Now I will.
September we'll be ready to go.
I will say,
fuck, we'll be ready to go when fucking spring training's done.
Yeah, I will say though, it's hard to get back. It's hard to get back all that, but we just talked about the fact that the Eagles didn't face a quarterback. You know why we didn't face a quarterback? Because there are no quarterbacks in the NFC.
Well, they got a tough schedule next season, Mike.
Except Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFC, and it's
And
not
Rodgers,
even a close second.
And Rodgers might not even be back next year. He might call it quits.
I wasn't even thinking of Rodgers as a good quarterback anymore.
Yeah,
that's how far down.
It depends on how long he's out in the fucking desert doing peyote.
He's in a dark. You hear that? He's in a dark room.
Yeah. Like he's in prison or something.
We got audio from the room.
He's a douchebag.
Got that.
You had a daughter?
Calling him a daughter.
Oh, but no. I mean, is there who else? Like Stafford, Cousins, Goff, Rodgers?
No.
Dak?
No.
Daniel Jones?
No.
Purdy?
Now, if you get Daniel Jones, some legit weapon, I don't know if they have a receiver that can start on another team. If you get Daniel Jones some quality receivers, I don't know, man. Because Daniel Jones does have a little bit of talent. I don't.
Daniel Jones ain't going to be nothing more than a game manager, Sean.
He's already more than that.
No, he's not.
He's already more than. Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
A game
how is he?
Back there and dinks and dunks, right? Daniel Jones will take off and run whenever.
Take and dunk just won the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, but Mahomes is not a game manager.
No, Mahomes is much more than a game manager.
All right.
Even though he did dink and dunk for only
he's got a bunch of dog shit for receivers. He has nothing to throw to, and he still throws for 250 yards a game, 220 runs for 70.
Fuck the Cowboys and fuck the Giants, and fuck him too. How about that?
Cowboys going to take a big slide next year.
They got no money.
Brian Schottenheimer is their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. Dave Pearson said, "Who should the Eagles get as coaches?" Thanks for bringing that up. They're gonna hire from inside.
I don't think that for the offensive coordinator,
Brian Johnson.
I think it's going to be Vance Joseph as the DC.
A DC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking too.
All right, boys.
What is that one?
The
Another
Young's
chocolate beer.
Double chocolate stout. Listen to it. Ready? Hold on. Oh, wait for it.
Open it. Nice. That was a nice sound. Right
Is
there.
that fucking nitro infused too, Mike?
It is.
It sound like this. That's pretty close to that sound. The soundboard one.
What are we drinking? Hey, Sean, you drinking a dark one tonight too?
Nah, I ain't drinking.
What do you got?
I'm drinking Sprite.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Sean, I'm very
There we go.
disappointed.
Yeah.
And there's the waterfall effect.
Nice. That's a nice.
I don't know if it shows up.
What is that? Double chocolate? You said?
Double chocolate stout.
Nice.
Fuck. I ain't calling you no more. I'll call Mike for a beer. Fuck you.
All right. I see what my friendship's worth to you, you cocksucker.
You ain't drinking. You're not a drinking buddy. You ain't for me.
Yeah.
Our friendship ends
so-
after drinking.
I didn't know nothing about no IPA till I met this cocksucker, and now he ain't fucking drinking any.
Not right now.
I got you, brother. I hear you.
Taking a few weeks. I might do a Jameson and ginger or something, but I'm not doing beer for a little
Look
bit.
at the froth.
Fucking quitter.
So, speaking of quitters, I was not the biggest fan, but I think we should definitely talk about it because he is a big part of why sports talk is what it is.
And it is good.
Angelo Cataldi.
I won't call him a quitter.
33 years at Sports Talk.
Speaking of quitters,
Yeah, WIP. He retired today. He was his last
he
show,
did.
so he's done. Yeah,
But I mean,
so,
he got 8 years ago. He announced a retirement. He said he was going to retire, and then the station said, "Hey, man, why don't you stay on a little while longer?" He said, "All right, I'll give you another 5 years." That was 8 years ago.
how do you go for how do you say you're going to retire and then they say stay on a little
Howard
longer
Stern
than
did the
just
same
5
thing.
years?
Stern did the same thing. Stern was ready to retire, and then they gave him like a 5-year contract. He said, "I'll do 5 more years."
Yeah,
How old is Cataldi?
73.
Is that what
Okay.
he is?
I think so.
He came from New York.
He
Came
came
down.
from Rhode Island.
Yeah, and
Okay.
started doing the sports talk here and polarizing, to say the least. Which felt like he was more of a character than himself.
Correct.
But in the beginning of his career, he was specifically covering the Flyers. It wasn't generally sports. He was specifically covering the Flyers.
I didn't know that.
Jay Parr says that beer looks good. How was it taste?
It's delicious.
Yeah. What is it? Double stout?
Double chocolate stout.
Double
What's
stout.
the ABV on that, Mike?
I don't think it's terrible. 5.2. So it's not a
Okay.
real heavy hitter,
Okay.
but it's got that chocolatey kind of a milkshakey stout.
Who makes that
It's-
one?
It's Young's.
Young's.
It
Yeah,
actually wasn't that
it's
pricey.
young.
Creamy young guy.
because it's not a high alcohol content. Like it was cheaper than most of the 4-packs that were around.
A Young's chocolate double stout. Come here, little girl. Come on, get in the van. I got
So-
candy. Get in the van. I got candy.
So
Your
I mean, it
hair
was like
smells
$16 for 4 instead of like
Your
20.
hair.
Yeah. So your thoughts on Angelo? And Dave Peterson said he actually did. He wrote a pretty nice post to the fans, thanking them and everything. He said, "You guys," basically like paraphrasing, but you guys were more important than the sports stars we had in this town. You know, you guys are what made it fun to do it for 33 years, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I remember being a kid, getting up in the morning, and that's what was on the radio. That's what the old man had on the radio. Angelo Cataldi.
Mhm.
So you know, I know you guys. I don't know about you, Mike, but I know Sean don't particularly care for him. But I've listened to him since that whole time.
Yeah.
I never met him. I never got to meet him. I'm sure he's a decent guy. I just think he was a character. I don't think he was himself.
It's the
Right.
screaming. The screaming. You're like,
No,
oh my
not
god.
even that. Like playing the
No.
dumb card, playing
Yeah.
the dumb card, and
Yeah.
then riling people up for the dumbest stuff. Just was what irritated me. I'm like, dude,
But he got ratings, Sean. 33 fucking years he was
Well,
on
that's,
radio.
but
And that's why
that's the
I can't,
point.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the point, Gary. Is that like he wasn't genuine. He was what can I do to get ratings?
All right.
So that's not what I gravitate towards.
But I mean that also gave him his paycheck too. You know what I mean, Mike?
Yeah, no, and the thing is that like I don't like Sean. I'm exactly where Sean is. I feel he's a character. I don't hate Cataldi. I didn't listen to Cataldi all that much. I listened a little bit. I tuned it out after a little bit. I don't like. There's guys like Eskin and Missinelli who I think are complete douchebags of human beings, scumbag human beings. I
Mhm.
never thought that Cataldi was a scumbag human being. I thought
no,
Cataldi was a character that did what he did for ratings, but he never, and his points and everything else were asinine at times, but I felt like he did it more for fun. He did it to laugh about it and kind of didn't take it serious the way that the Eskins and Missinellis. Cataldi didn't argue. He argued with maybe some of the coaches and stuff like that, but he didn't alienate himself to fans.
Yeah, he was a
didn't make
corner.
people.
He was a corner pub sports in the 70s and the 80s before the corner pub sports was here. Like it's familiar. It's similar.
He didn't make the people that called in and the people that listened to him feel like assholes.
No.
He didn't insult them. He didn't this and that.
He talked about them after they hung up.
Maybe a little bit, but
you're right.
Dave, are you sure it was Cataldi? Because I thought it was Eskin challenged Charlie Manuel to a fist fight.
Yes, I thought
that was Eskin. Yeah.
Or Charlie Manuel challenged Eskin to a fist fight.
And what are you talking about?
Actually, you know what? That might not be. That might be true because if they were on, if Cataldi was interviewing him weekly, there was probably a time where
maybe. I know Eskin and him went at it, and he threw him out of his office or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
You get my face, I don't beat your goddamn ass, you son of a bitch.
You still have that? Holy shit!
So I'll say this:
you fucker,
you goddamn fucker!
I'll fuck you up.
Oh yeah, man. My shit washed in, bro, big time.
He says right on Wikipedia. So with that, we raise our glasses to Angelo.
All right, Cataldi. It's
career.
Still a
he was important for sports talk, so that's why I want to bring it up.
Oh, he was important for Philadelphia sports talk.
Yes, he was. Now,
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
All right, go do that. Get out.
Yeah.
All right.
Canola eating cocksucker.
Well, he was.
Let me get a beer.
Okay. So we promised you some baseball talk. We won't do much because we're not quite there yet. But it is nice to say this. Pitchers and catchers reported to Clearwater this week, which is cool. Very short. Like, it's different when you're in the World Series, man. That time flies by. Flies by.
Well, especially this year more so than any year.
Because the Eagles.
You went right from the World Series, dove right into the Eagles because the Eagles were on fire.
Mm-hmm.
You dove right in. And then the Eagles season went all the way to the Super Bowl. And like the day after the Super Bowl, pitchers and catchers report, and you're just kind of, and me personally, I'm like, I need a break. I can't go from gearing up for the World Series to depressed for a day or two. But hey, the Eagles are undefeated. Let's get into this. Let's dive right into it. To the Eagles season's over, and hey, the Phillies made a lot of free agent moves and look like they're ready to kind of really push back. I can't.
Yeah, I hear you.
I need decompress time.
By the way, that's why next week we are not going to have a show next week. I think we all kind of need a week off, just kind of decompress week. And,
we didn't want to do it this week because I don't know. We needed to talk about this.
Yes.
This week we needed to grieve. We needed to air it. We needed to talk about it. We couldn't miss this week.
Yes. 100%.
After we get it out of our system, now we can kind of take a break.
Yeah. Yeah. So no show next week, just for everyone out there. But to the Phillies, as Dave Peterson points out, I want to bring that up. The Phillies signed Sir Anthony. Sir, we know you, Sir Anthony. Dominguez.
I thought it was S-E-R. It's not
S-I-R.
No, it's S-E-R. Remember that? What was that later? Well, why is it? Was it you, Gary?
Yeah, it was Gary.
Yeah, it was
Gary.
Sir, what's he, a fucking night? Like, it's S-E-R, you fucking
And I said, whatever. Who gives a fuck?
And then also Jose Alvarado was signed to a 3-year deal, I believe.
3 years.
3-year extension. So their bullpen is set up. They
Aside from Alvarado kind of shitting the bed in the last game, getting over that.
Which he was
I was
crazy
happy.
whole year though,
Yeah.
man.
They went to the well too many times, and they didn't have anybody else to go to.
And I think that
Of
was
course, they could have fucking left Wheeler in. You know, he is the fucking ace. Like,
no, you
he
don't want
can't
to do
pitch
that.
more than 4 fucking innings.
I didn't want to do that.
Christ's sake! Sorry.
I
See,
didn't want to do that.
I-
He was on a pitch count for next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
They were saving him for Game 7.
that's old news.
But
see, now I'm compounding the frustrations with the Eagles with the frustrations of the.
hey, and the Union lost in the championship too. So not that I really give a shit, but apparently it was pretty bad the way they lost, like a penalty kick.
I remember that was right before the World Series game started, and I happened to
It was the day before, wasn't it?
No, I mean it was on during one of the World. It was right before one of the World Series games, and I remember like tuning in and catching either waiting for the Phillies to start or whatever, or maybe I tuned in thinking like, oh, I think they're playing. Let me see how this ends. And they were up a goal, or maybe they just scored a goal, and there was like that extra time, and there was like a minute left of the extra time, and they gave up a goal and then lost in the shootout. It was I didn't even like football or soccer, and I was like, what a kick in the balls that was.
We lost as a team.
That's what we do here in Philly. We just lose.
But
lose.
wait, do you lose as a team if it's penalty kicks?
No, it's on the goalie.
Oh, so
Jetbag.
so it's not as a team because that's a weird way to end a game.
It's kind of like throwing a flag at the end of a game that decide the outcome of a.
It is, isn't it?
Kind of like that. Nah,
It's not you losing as a team. It's the refs kind of And here
I have audio of Patrick Mahomes and Roger Goodell after the game.
Womp womp womp.
Got a nice little man pussy, don't you?
I stuck my big black Johnson right down his goddamn throat.
So is that Mahomes and Goodell? Mahomes was giving it to Goodell because I mean,
It stinks. It stinks.
You got a tight little man pussy on you, don't you?
Love that clip.
I thought you were gonna do the womp womp one.
Man, pussy. So yeah, Gary,
You got a tight little man pussy on you, don't you?
It stinks.
You went to tell the Trey Turner story.
Yes. So Trey Turner's in batting practice. He hits a ball. It goes out of the fucking park. It hits a parked car. So they're telling him, it hit a park. Hey, you hit a car. He says, well, they shouldn't have fucking parked there.
Oh shit! It's fucking. We got Gary on the baseball field.
And now Kyle Schwarber says, well, maybe you can give him 30 million reasons to tell him why not to park there.
They're all laughing. They're all cracking up. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, so that's all I got on that. While you were drunk, I guess. Yeah.
Do it.
I am not drunk, man. You trying to make me drunk.
It's time to catch up on some things you may have missed
Do you think a six-pack is acceptable?
while you were drunk.
I'm drunk and I love cats. What more do you need to know?
So, baseball. Speaking of baseball, mourns the loss of Tim McCarver, Hall of Fame broadcaster, longtime catcher. Actually, he was Steve Carlton's battery mate. He basically called any time that Steve Carlton was pitching.
Mm-hmm.
What was he, 70, 71, 73, something like that?
Yeah, dude, like he was young.
Pretty young, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hear what happened or anything like that, but I don't know if he was sick or something. I'm not sure. I didn't read that much into it, but yeah. But I know I've said it on the story on the show a few times, but my favorite Tim McCarver story is easily Bob Gibson pitching to McCarver's first year as a catcher, first year in the bigs, and Gibson's missing a few pitches, and McCarver goes to get up, and he starts walking out, and Bob Gibson goes, "You turn your ass right back around and go back to where you came from." And McCarver went, "All right," turn right back around, put him back on the plate, and that was it. And then Gibson like got out of the inning or whatever, you know. And Gibson, I think Gibson like went up to him and after the inning or something, and Gibson's like, "Look, man, this is just the way it is. Like this is the way it's going to be with me. You're a rookie. You're not going to come out here and tell me how to pitch." I was like, "Damn."
Right. He didn't apologize. He was just like, "Listen, you little shit."
Yeah. He's like, "Get your ass back to where you came from." So
I want him dead. I
Whoa.
want his family dead.
Damn.
I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on his ass.
a little rough, isn't it?
Damn.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought
a little much, ain't it?
Jay Parr said McCarver's a class act, and then that gets played. That's not right. Damn.
Is that what Gibson was saying at that time as he came
don't
out?
know.
Like it just finally came to fruition, like
I guess so, yeah.
40, 50 years later?
So he's telling them now that they met back in the afterlife.
Mm.
So Tim McCarver passed away. Cole Hamels is making a comeback.
Again?
Don't call it a comeback.
He's signed a minor league deal with the San Diego Padres.
San Diego.
That's what's in. So, Cole Hamels going back home to California.
Finally.
We'll see if he gets a shot with the Padres and pitch in the majors again. We'll see. Talk about like that's kind of a sad story. Like it's like, man, what are you doing? Like you're hanging on for dear life and like you don't have anything left. And
You're
like,
signing a minor league deal. Yeah.
like you've been done for 5 years.
Yeah.
So that's
a shame.
Dave. So while you were drunk, Jerry Jarrett, TNA wrestling promoter, has passed away. So I don't really know much about the TNA, but is that Jeff Jarrett? Is that a relationship with Jeff Jarrett? I'd be curious to hear your response to that.
I think it was his brother.
Was it?
I think so.
Jeff Jarrett used to do sort of the Ric Flair thing, but he had the flair. He had the like country thing on.
Two chip bags.
Father and son, he said.
Father.
Oh,
wow. How about that? Senators goalie Anton Forsberg tore his
father and son. What is a pizza place?
Not no more.
Just son now.
Yeah. No. Senators goalie Anton Forsberg tore his MCL in both knees during a game last week and has to get immediate surgery.
Both knees
tore his MCLs. Yeah, he's gonna have to be out for a while after that.
Yeah.
So I read that story. I was like, ugh, like I can't imagine, man. That's brutal. I don't know what the play looked like or what happened there, but speaking of knees,
no normal cocksucking for him.
no, guess not.
He's gonna fuck that little dog.
What?
I didn't mean to play that, but
Give your balls a tug, you tent fucker.
Chris Maragos, speaking of knees, his knee just gave him $43.5 million payday. When he was playing with the Eagles, he was a special teamer and a safety. He was mishandled. He had a knee injury, and it was mishandled by the training staff from the Eagles.
Yeah, now he can hardly fucking walk.
What's it, Rothman Orthopedics?
Yep.
Are now forced to pay him $43.5 million.
That's why we have insurance.
Fire insurance is as high as it is.
Ryan or Gary, you're allowed to be smoking in your house?
Shut up.
That's a no.
Fixing her right now. Was he playing on the holodeck at the vet stadium? Yeah. I mean, seriously, to tear your knee up, like, oh.
Yeah, he tore his knee up tripping over a fucking rat.
Tripped over Nick Foles' dick.
Oh, well, you know, it's a fucking monster dick.
She wears underwear with dick holes in them.
So a man has been arrested.
I'm a man.
For walking around.
Must be the titties.
Walking around with what? I got interrupted.
He's been walking around. He got arrested for cutting off man buns. He cut off 38 guys' hair.
Well, good for him.
Where was it?
Good for him.
38 man buns.
Good for him, because a man bun is fucking stupid.
He was doing the Lord's work, man.
Yeah. What's that, a fucking handle?
Where the hell was he that he found 38 hands?
You can't hear me?
Yeah. There you go. That's better. I lost
Man
it. Sorry.
bun.
That was on my head.
Fucking
yeah.
bun.
I don't know. Like, how do you find 38 man buns around? But yeah, this
Must
guy
be the titties.
I got snagged and yeah.
A man bun.
That is pretty fucked up, though.
You're a crumb creep.
No, he's not. He's a hero. that is the worst, the man bun. It is the worst.
Yeah. It's a fucking man bun. What's it, a handle? It's a blowjob handle.
Must be weird not having anybody come on you.
Derek Carr was cut by the Raiders this week, which was expected.
Right.
And now he's going from team to team. He's visiting the Jets, I think, today. Where do you think he ends up?
Washington.
Ooh, I haven't heard that one. Yeah.
Well, Eric Bieniemy is the fucking offensive coordinator there now.
He knows Carr well. He faced off
Yes,
against him
he
twice a year.
does.
Wait,
Yes.
Bieniemy?
Yes.
Yeah, Bieniemy took
from
the
the-
job for Washington today.
He took the job.
From the Chiefs?
Yes.
He left the Chiefs to become the Washington OC. I know.
He left the Chiefs because Andy Reid didn't allow him to do play calling. In Washington, he'll be the play caller.
For all the people who are screaming and stomping that Eric Bieniemy isn't a head coach,
How do you know he can be?
There has to be a reason why. They're saying he's not doing well. And we said this last year during the offseason when he came back to Kansas City. He's not doing well in his interviews. I'm sorry, it was 2 years ago when the Eagles interviewed him too. He's not doing well in interviews. He doesn't interview well. They don't think he's a leader, they said. So there's a reason why he's not a head coach.
And the reason he left Kansas City, Sean, is because he wasn't getting chances to do the play calling. And with the Commanders, he's going to be the play caller.
Do you remember this? I do. Because we were talking about the vet. 1993 Chicago Bears receiver Wendell Davis.
I do remember that.
Attendance on a single play while running a pass pattern at Veteran Stadium. I remember that, man. That stadium was. Oof.
Yeah.
I don't know how those people ran on that field, man.
Well, do you remember? Do you remember in preseason the Eagles were set to play?
Jets.
Yes, they were going to play the Ravens.
The Ravens.
It was the Ravens.
Yeah.
And Tony Siragusa came out and he said, we're not playing on this field. And the game was canceled.
Yeah, he's dead too.
Well,
Siragusa. Remember they were trying to patch it up? There was like seams. There was big seams, like where the cutout was for the infield. For the baseball.
Why are you talking about Saragusa that way?
Gary, what did you do?
hold on.
Jesus Christ.
What was that?
He did something with his speaker. I don't know what he did. He got all
Oh,
loud.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what happened to Saragusa that they needed to do all this patchwork before he died?
Oh.
Seams and patchwork and like.
Yeah.
Oof.
All right. Gary, you back now?
Yes, I am.
What the hell did you do? Pull your cord out?
My laptop was about to die. I had to plug it in.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it got all loud. I'm like, damn. It was very odd. All right. It's Derek Carr cut. Vegas thieves steal the Cadillac converter from the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
They see me rolling. They're hating.
Dave Peterson said he ate Pam Oliver on the sideline. That's why he had to patch him up. Yeah, so apparently, because that's a big thing, right? Cadillac converters getting stolen in Philly a lot. So apparently someone stole it off the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
So at work, they paid, there was like 40 vehicles. They put the catalytic converter lock on it. So they came in and they cut the lock off and stole the catalytic converter.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny.
So you go to work, Mike, you go to work, you see fucking three locks just laying underneath the trucks.
Oh,
They're just laying there.
Clearly they did a better plan than there's locks.
Yeah.
So if they could cut locks, can't they just, or if they can cut catalytic converters, can't they just cut the locks?
I mean, it's going to take a little bit to cut the lock.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, they just spent fucking $15,000 on all new surveillance cameras, and it didn't stop them. They still did it.
That's insane. It's crazy that it's an epidemic, man. Stealing that.
Mm-hmm.
Those things getting stolen. My cousin had her stolen like a couple weeks ago.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get a couple $100 for a good one. That's a couple good bags of snort.
Could be.
Speaking of while you were drunk, Die Hard's probably going to die young.
Yeah. He might. Dude. Wait, what were we talking about? I forget.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Nah, yeah, Bruce Willis got dementia.
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Got already?
When?
That's a shame.
Who?
Who?
When?
Last while you were drunk story I have.
What'd you say?
Courtesy of Mark Polsky, who I haven't seen on here tonight. He's ditching us the last few weeks.
Oh, man.
A German ballet director has issued an apology on this past Tuesday for smearing dog shit on the face of a newspaper critic. His reviews he had to take an exception to. This happened in Berlin.
Well, don't get bad reviews, you fuck.
Marco
Polo.
Marco, yeah, I was gonna say Marco Goke was suspended from his post as ballet chief at his Hanover State Opera following an incident in this past weekend where he smeared dog poop on the face of a newspaper critic.
He didn't get arrested; he just got suspended.
He got suspended. So,
look, this is your warning. Don't do just take a week off. No more smearing dog shit on people.
Yeah. And here's my, I'm sorry.
Get your dick and pussy all covered in shit.
Can get.
Yeah. What do I have? I know I have that. Here it is.
You get your dick and your pussy all covered in shit.
Yeah.
Pretty fucked up, man. Look what's the matter with people.
They're assholes.
What came from their assholes?
Wow.
It's just so weird, man. That's your retaliation.
Yeah, I'll just smear dog shit on you.
God.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
I love that. That was a good one.
Yeah. The funniest thing I seen a meme. It was like almost as bad as watching the Eagles lose the Super Bowl was having to apologize to my mother-in-law for calling her a bitch for changing it when the Tubi commercial came on. Changing the channel when the Tubi commercial came on. Yeah.
So that came on, and
what happened with that commercial?
Remember, it looked like someone was changing, putting something.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, Ryan, stop.
Yeah, and I knew it wasn't.
Dude,
him,
we
so
did. Yeah.
And I looked at Ryan. I was like, "Oh, this is awesome." And
I'm yelling, "Yo, Ryan, stop it!"
Jamie said he bagged his own dog shit, carried around until he saw that critic.
Jesus
oh my
Christ.
God, that makes it even better. Yeah, dude, I thought that commercial was pretty good. Because everyone's like, Ryan, what the fuck? You were yelling at him. What are you doing? We're like, it's not me. Screaming at him.
At our party, Chris was yelling at my dad, and like my dad actually had the remote in his hand, and for a second thought that he did change it or something. Yeah, every household seemed to have a different story about that.
Brian got all hostile. It ain't me.
They said he was on the phone with his brother, and he went off on his 10-year-old son, and he was rolling on the floor laughing.
Dude, it's so crazy how many stories there are about this. A goddamn commercial.
And also, can we just stop with the staged smashing the TV videos that are out there?
That's stupid.
This
It's
dude,
fucking stupid.
and of course it went viral. It's got 19,000 views or something.
I didn't even see
crazy.
this one.
Yeah, and you know, it's a kid. He's upset, and he starts flipping out, and he takes his jacket off, and his friends are holding him back, and he punches the TV, and because the Eagles, were losing or whatever. And it turns out it was staged. It was staged by a comedian who put a comedian. Yeah, he's real funny. Whatever you want to call him, YouTube comedian or whatever. And then there was another one that I saw today too. Dude's acting like a complete asshole. Right? Here's the problem. I'm watching the clock on the TV, and it's changing like that. The video's not cutting. It's highlights. And he takes his TV and throws it on the ground, and I'm like, well, it's funny because it's daylight outside. Like you can see through his blinds. It's daylight.
Oh, wow. Yeah. The game's over at night.
Dude, that's fucking lame. Like you're replaying the game. You're making sure your camera's set up. He's wearing these ridiculous clothes because no one's watching football in the shit this dude is wearing. Like I'm
right.
And the sun's shining outside. I'm like, oh, that's pretty funny. Like all for clout, man. It's just so lame. Can we just stop with that shit? The other dude throwing it out on the driveway and running over this truck and like
he got clicks.
Yeah, I guess they did it, right?
He got clicks.
I guess they did it. So I mean, yeah, they're making money and we're not making money doing this. So I guess we're the assholes.
Are they making money doing that?
I don't know. Maybe not.
I mean, if you get over 10,000 likes or views, you're going to get paid.
Are you sure? What are you going to get paid for?
You're going to get paid.
No, I want to hear it. How are you going to get paid?
You're going to get paid.
From what?
Huh?
Did the clicks get you paid?
You got it all over my
Hey, that's how you get paid, Mike.
Sponsorships.
What, getting it all over your shorts?
Yes.
Sponsorships, getting ads, all that stuff, getting advertisements, getting on your channel or whatever.
Who knew? All we had to do was punch a TV and we could, we could be rich.
Maybe next time we do the show in person, we could punch each other in the face, put that out.
Yeah. Or flick each other's taint.
I was talking about.
Man, don't excite me like that.
Jesus.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Flick that bean, yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's all I got tonight, guys.
Short show like we kind of said it was going to be.
Yeah, I know we weren't.
We didn't even touch on the Sixers. I mean, the Sixers are kind of up and down, but we'll talk about them when, after the All-Star break and when we come back.
Dave Peterson said, everyone stay calm. We have the USFL on deck. And also, if they played in the cities they represent, I might actually give a fuck. And then the XFL comes back. XFL.
There's USFL and XFL?
Oh, yeah. Dwayne The Rock Johnson's now heading that. So I'm sure that's going to be a boom of success.
Playoffs?
Like, how do these teams continue to, like, how do these leagues continue to kind of recycle when they don't work? Who they're losing millions of dollars doing this each time, and like somebody keeps thinking that next time.
Wait a minute, Mike. Last year the USFL was very profitable.
Actually, it did pretty well. There was betting stuff going on, yeah.
And the Philadelphia team played very, very well.
Yeah, they also lost in the title game.
Yeah.
Oh well, you see, there's another one.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
But
I mean, title game. Not that that's a major sport, but
the USFL has been, very profitable.
Man. Okay.
I knew we weren't exactly exuberant with energy tonight, with good reason. It's been a.
But this wasn't a terrible show.
No, I think it was a really good show. I think it wasn't the joking off the rails kind of funny,
but
we just weren't in the mood for that shit today.
Yeah, no, I'm not in the mood for your shit, Gary.
You're still going to get it. I don't give you a fucking you're in the mood or not.
Not in the mood for it.
I don't care. You're still getting it.
All right. Well,
you already said it was little, so I mean,
we lost. We lost the Super Bowl. We lost the Super Bowl, but we also lost Angelo Cataldi. So
you and your Bolden Girl shirt.
I think we're good. Hey, you leave the shirt alone. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. Corner Puff Sports, Mike.
Penis out.
Penis in.
See you guys. Thank you so much for watching live. We appreciate it. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. And like Mike said, we'll we'll talk Sixers and
Yeah, we got to get back into talking Sixers.
yeah, definitely. They deserve it for sure.
Yep.
They're a good team. So
Yeah.
all right, the podcast is over, but
We having another beer?
I'm
Yeah,
having
yeah.
another beer.
yeah, I'll have another one. Yeah.
What are you really just drinking ginger ale?
Sean said he was
Wow.
taking a break.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, hats off to you, Sean.
A couple weeks, man. A couple
Is
weeks.
is it hard?
Maybe not yet. Maybe a little bit later.
Play with it a little bit. It'll get hard.
Staring at it ain't gonna pay your rent.
Like,
That's not what I meant, you fuck. As you're drinking your ginger ale, you're like, damn, I wish I had a beer.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. You know what, dude? Since we've been doing the show, I've never done this.
No,
I haven't taken a break in 7 years.
your poor liver.
So I just, got a little beer gut going. I want to lose that. And I'm thinking St. Patty's Day. I'll
Beer gut. It's shade for the tool.
St. Patty's Day will be the coming back party.
All right.
It's a Friday night, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah. Yep.
So no show. So no show next week. If I said, let's go out and get a few, you would tell me no.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I already made plans for next Friday. I told her we'll do something Friday. So
What about Saturday?
Dave Peterson said, so instead of dancing on my own, I'll be dancing on my own next week.
drinking on my own.
Oh, drinking on my own. I'm sorry. Apparently, I'm
Hey,
not
man.
drinking. I can't read.
But good for you, brother.
Yeah.
I'm going to get another beer.
All right, I'm gonna
Fucking quitter.
I'm going to cut the feed. You guys can stay on. See you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Jay, Dave Langle, Steve, and thank you guys. Jamie, thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks,
We'll see you guys in a few weeks.
Cheers.